so, doing video number 15 now. I'm still going on the video challenge. Maybe more than 30 days later, but it's good. Getting the videos done and sharing and exploring that sharing. Exploring myself, exploring what I can offer and what I can tell, and just letting who I am be known, become known, and the insights that I have be shared, even though I'm pretty dubious oftentimes of my knowledge or my insight. I think one of the main reasons for that is that I didn't finish school, and I also haven't delved into anything that really I suppose you could say involves my intellect or involves my mental faculties to a point where I can seem like I'm really intelligent, because I just was never driven by those things. And as I come to be older and feel the pressure of being an adult and of, why don't I have my place in the world, or why haven't I established who or what I'm supposed to be, I can get a little wobbly, and I can begin to doubt myself and doubt the decisions that I've made. But the more I reach into my heart and the more I trust myself, the more I realize that I've paved my own path, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with paving your own path in life. Actually, I think it's utterly important and crucial that we pave our own path. And there are many different things that can be developed just through living, and just through living as who we are and how we feel. And those things don't require a classroom or a specific occupation to grow within the construct. I feel very strongly that the biggest way, or the most growth, can come from evolving through empathy. From really stepping outside of yourself and being able to understand, at least, even if it's only an attempt to understand, but to at least not sympathize, but have compassion or understanding for another human being. And when you do that, your intelligence grows in this way, because then you're sensitized to other people, you're sensitized to that connection and the separation between us and another person who may be suffering, or has something going on that we haven't experienced directly in ourselves. It lessens, and we become more in tune with the collectivity of everything in a really deep way, really beautiful way. So it's like emotional intelligence in a sense, but it's also heart intelligence. It's also a bring down from here into here, and establishing those feelings, establishing that sensitivity and that purity within your heart that can expand into many different forms. But the strongest one is the ability to connect and relate with others. So much so that you become them. In a sense you are, but you definitely need to be careful about forgetting who you are and losing yourself through it. But evolving that sensitivity so that it changes everything, changes all of the ways that you live your life. It brings you to this understanding and this connection with just existing on this planet, existing as we do. You look at wars and poverty and these terrible things that we see happen differently, because then you don't just see the good or the evil of it, you see the reasons behind such behavior, the reason, the suffering behind why all of this occurs. And that's the way to change it. To understand it and to love it. Because these things that happen that are negative or terrible or just unbelievable to us, they really happen because there's a lack of love there. It's for the people that begin it, for the people that run it, for the people that are part of it. There's a lack of love. And it's true love. There's a lack of that true love within them. And giving it back to them, irregardless to how horrific we might feel that their actions are, is the way to heal such occurrences. Is the way to totally transform that. And I know it might be the last thing that a lot of people think to do, but it's fundamental, really. Absolutely fundamental. Truth is that everything is an experience. Life is probably temporary, and we're way more than we think we are. And if you think of everything, murder, massacre, war, destruction, the downfall of our planet, as just an experience, then there's no reason to judge it. But there's more and more and more of a reason to understand it, and to open our hearts to it, to see what we can learn, and see how we can give, and see how we can grow through connecting and taking responsibility, in a sense, for our part of that occurrence. It's it's almost mind-blowing to think about, because you don't want to think that, you don't want to see that, but I think it's the truth. I think that all suffering, all destruction stems from a lack of understanding, a lack of the heart, a lack of virtues like appreciation, or compassion, or forgiveness, humility, understanding, and valor. Standing for yourself, standing for your truth, standing for something so close to what we actually are, just love. Real love. Not the love with conditions, or the love with a relationship, or marriage, or part of the program we live in. But the deep love, an unending love, quintessential love. As deep as our souls, as deep as the longing that we always feel through our lives, and deeper maybe. We need to connect to that, and stop judging. I remember reading somewhere about how when you fight something, you put energy into that fight, and that fight reinforces the other side, so it reinforces the polarity. Say you're someone who wants to save the planet, so you do what you can, you become a planetary activist, and you fight all the misdoings of the planet. And all of that energy goes into this fight, into standing for something that you feel necessary to stand for. And it solidifies the occurrence, solidifies it, because you have to have the opposing energy in order to keep fighting for what you're fighting for. What would be left if you stopped? If you stopped feeding your energy into that fight? Would you have a purpose then? If your purpose is to save the planet, but the planet's already been saved, or there's no need to save the planet, there's no purpose, there's no drive. So think about it. You're reinforcing something, or trying to unenforce something. You'll continually be in that state of polarity, in that state of there's a right and a wrong, or there is a good and a bad. And love doesn't see that. Love doesn't see the two sides, see the polarity. Love exists in the middle. And the more we move into that love just inside of ourselves internally, and also project it externally with our hearts as deeply and strongly and gracefully as we can, it's a process. Begin somewhere, begin small, and you perfect it. But the perfection definition is irrelevant, really. You know what I'm saying? Stop fighting a two-sided battle and unite it within. Love the things you hate about yourself. Love them so much that there's no room for the other side. Don't love them to get rid of them because you feel like it's the easy way, or if you just keep loving and keep jumbling with that process or that idea in your mind that it's just going to remove what you don't like and it will be great. Understand it too. Understand why it exists in the first place. Focus on it deeply, and then go from there. Like I said, appreciate, understand, have compassion for, forgive it, and be humble about it, and stand for it. Stand for what is in your heart. It's crucial. There's so many things, so many distractions, but if you can take a little time to separate yourself from all of that separation, you already know. You already know the truth, and you already know that it is not divided. It does not pick sides. It does not go dark or light. It stays right there in the center. That's what it does.